Dear Sir or Madam, I am not an animal rights activist, nor am I an environmental extremist. In fact, I do not think of myself as an extremist of any sort. I've certainly never thrown paint on anyone. I do not think I would rather go naked than wear fur. I personally do not own any fur, but I can think of numerous instances when, if I absolutely had to choose between going naked and wearing fur, I would wear the fur. I hope that's clear. I am a woman, but I would hesitate to call myself a feminist. Let me stick with woman, female. With those credentials, I am writing to you to protest the ceaseless use of the term Beaver in your publication to describe a certain portion of the female anatomy. As a woman, I can get past that, but I'm afraid the harm to the poor animal is irreparable. Did I mention that I am vice president of the Upper Wisconsin Beaver Lovers? Yes, there is more to our great state than badgers and cheese. My organization is dedicated to celebrating all aspects of the beaver. By any account, the beaver is a worthy animal, beautiful to see in the wild, industrious, resourceful, a brilliant engineer, a champion of family values. The beaver is Canada's eagle. Not to overstate the case, but viewed without prejudice, the beaver is a shining example for us all. Some blame the beaver for flooding property, but it is equally possible to say that the beaver is creating wetlands, invaluable habitat for countless endangered species. I am proud to say I am a beaver lover, but because of the slang use of the word, I rarely do so in public. I used to go to schools to speak to children about the inspirational example of the beaver, but I had to give it up because of the undue whispers and snickering. And these were children, mind you. My name is Fanny, so I assure you I am well acquainted with the pain of verbal abuse that a name can bring. Names do hurt, and the beaver is a wholly innocent victim. I am not proposing to limit your speech in any way. I am appealing to your better nature, to your sense of courtesy, to your respect for human dignity and one of God's own creations, the beaver. And I am well aware that if those who use this word so carelessly were prevented by law from doing so, that they would probably adopt another poor little animal to suit their purpose. The muskrat, I would assume, is safe. The fox is too, as the TV network would, I trust, threaten legal measures of their own. You can't run a business that's named after something like that. Sable, being used by a model of automobile, is protected for that very reason. Also, Russia, or what remains of it, wouldn't be too happy if we took the name of one of its chief exports and attached it to you-know-what. Groundhog, woodchuck, gerbil, hamster? I don't think so. Badger? You wouldn't dare. Mink is the logical choice. One wonders why those who must apply a name in the first place didn't go with mink from the start. Why pick on beaver? Why not mink? But I realize there are mink lovers out there who would be equally offended. And yes, finally, this fundamental question. Why must there be any name attached to it at all? Can't we rise above the juvenile urge to say things like, hey look, she's shooting a beaver? And then there is the additional problem presented by the classic Golden Age television show with its central character, the unfortunately named Beaver Cleaver. The program continues to exist in perpetual rerun, and this is really no help at all. Maybe this is a male thing, because I find no loveliness or amusement in the phrase. When I ask my husband Charles about this, he ignores me at first, and then he sighs and tells me that the masculine counterpart has hundreds of names attached to it, many of them referring to all sorts of animals, and maybe I should be out marching for them too. Well, I'm not actually marching. Like I told you, I'm not militant. I just want to register a formal protest with your publication about its frequent abuse of the word beaver. If you could perhaps catch yourself the next time you do it and think, isn't there some other way? and then substitute another word or phrase, I would greatly appreciate it. It would go a long way in restoring dignity to the amply deserving and utterly innocent Beaver. Sincerely, Fanny Billings, Vice President, Upper Wisconsin Beaver Lovers. P.S. In an effort to attract tourists, our club motto is, "Come see our beavers." You can see the problem. P.P.S. Charles and I own a cat, and I am also a cat fancier, so please, as the saying goes, please don't go there.